Hello, everyone, and welcome to my 2021 ratepayer presentation for property administration. This isn't the most comfortable thing for me online, but this is my COVID reality. So I will attempt to walk you through my 2021 presentation. Okay, here's the assessment slide by totals for the year. So we start off on this graph looking at the 2014 assessment for the 2015 tax year. And then we move over to the current year, the 2020 assessment for the 2021 tax year. So as you can see, in 2014 assessment, we were at our all-time high of just over $4.5 billion, sliding down to I would say our 2020 assessment, and we're sitting at about $3.8 billion. So these are different categories for assessment within the special areas. So we've got farmland, machinery and equipment, mostly related to oil and gas. We have non-residential, residential, a little sliver of railway assessment in there, power, then power generation, and then the big ones are pipelines and well sites. So in the next few years, we anticipate that these assessments may be going down once again as pipelines and well sites are under pressure for being abandoned and reclaimed. Therefore, their assessment is reduced, and those are two big assessment categories. So we are anticipating our assessment being under pressure in the years to come, as well as any new assessment within oil and gas. They have a holiday for the next few years. So we will not be gaining any new as we are losing some of the old. 2021 assessment appeals. So the combined assessment and taxation notices were mailed in the week of May 17th. Ratepayers who have questions about their 2020 assessment for the 2021 tax year are encouraged to contact the assessment department at 403-854-5591. The deadline to appeal your assessment is July 23rd, 2021. And if you need any more information on the appeal process, please visit our website. In 2021, we did welcome the hamlet of Cereal into the special areas in an effort to make sure that we had a smooth transition between their taxation and assessment department and ours. We did take a little bit of extra time before mailing out those notices. So for the hamlet of Cereal, the combined assessment and taxation for residents of Cereal were mailed in the week of June 14th. Ratepayers who have questions about their 2020 assessment for the 2021 tax year are encouraged to contact the assessment department 403-854-5591, and the deadline for the Cereal residents to appeal is August 23rd. And once again, if you have any questions about your assessment or the appeal process, please visit our website. Annual rate review. So each year we have a look at our rates on public lands. So this year within our cultivation leases, we did raise those lease rates up 5% from 2020. So the increase is in recognition of the private rental rate trends. So as we see private rental rates moving up within the special areas, we try to keep some kind of a pace with our rental rates. So the impacts for 2021, so the average rental is approximately just over $1,000 per quarter, based on the average assessment of around $14,000 per quarter. The strategy here is to have some smaller, more frequent increases to the rate instead of larger, less frequent increases. We did get stuck with that, I would say, in 2013, where between the years of 2013 and 2015, we essentially doubled the rate. So hearing some feedback back from those days, we would like to just continue on with small, frequent increases to the rates. Grazing leases, we've been using the same formula for a number of years. So that formula is average price for the cattle market in the last 6 months of the previous year, times the average weight gain, times the forage value, equals divided by the carrying capacity equals an annual per acre rent. So this year we did have a slight decrease, less than 1% from the 2020 year. And it's all basically the reflection of what the cattle market was last year compared to the previous year. Here's where annual rates have been for grazing leases. So in this graph, we start off in 2007. It gradually climbs up to 2015, where it did take a noticeable increase. 2016 was also a notable increase. You could attribute those to the cattle prices in the 2014 year and 2015 year. And once those hot markets were a little bit over with, we started to come back down again to the levels that we're at now. Community pastures. So in 2021, the fees were set at 90 cents per head per day. This was an increase of 5 cents per head per day from 2020. The pasture allotments are sitting at 100% capacity. One other note is that in 2021 is the first year that we're going to be using some of the lands at the Remount Community Pasture that was burned out from the Suffield fire that happened in 2017. So since 2017, our rangeland agrologists have been monitoring the recovery of those lands, making sure we had a good amount of litter and ground cover in those lands. And with their input, we made the decision to put cows back into those burned out areas for 2021. Land use order review. So the special areas land use order is the primary planning and development tool used in the special areas. So this is the document that the development officer would reference when you speak to them about a development, whether it be for a house or a large industrial property within the special areas. This is the main tool used for determining setbacks and things of that nature. So the land use order was last updated in 2013. It needs to be reviewed to make sure it continues meeting the needs of ratepayers, businesses, and larger industry. The review process includes a focus on cutting red tape and making the development process more user-friendly. There'll be a large public engagement component to this. We'll be speaking to residents, industry, businesses to make sure we have identified their needs within this document. Municipal development plan. So every municipality is required by legislation to have a municipal development plan. The MDP communicates long-term desired land use for the community. It serves like a high-level blueprint showing how a community expects to change over time. The Special Areas Board MDP was adopted in the spring of 2021 after a year-long development process, which included public engagement. If you're interested in reviewing a copy of the MDP, it's available on our website. Other updates, the Owen Railroad project is moving towards private ownership. Once privately owned, it is expected to continue operating and creating more economic opportunities for the region. So I have talked about the Owen Rail Yard project before. So it is a project that the special areas and the town of Owen partner together to somewhat rehabilitate and preserve the last remaining rail line within the special areas. So we partnered and started to redevelop the rail yard within the town of Oyen. There was a Part 9 company formed between the municipal partners of the town of Oyen and Special Areas Board. We invested in the rehabilitation and looking for an anchor tenant. We did find that anchor tenant in Iron Horse. For the last number of years, we have been bringing frac sand cars into the Owen Rail Yard and also a few other commodities and some other things. We felt that it is time to see if there was some interest out there, to see if it could possibly be privately owned once again. And we are working towards that, and hopefully by fall I'm able to give you an update on where that's at, but it's looking optimistic. The cultivation lease conversion policy is expected to be finalized this fall. So this is where we currently do have a cultivation lease conversion policy. It is when we convert, I would say, previously cultivated lands. So let's say we have some regrassing or some tame hay that we no longer want to continue putting into hay. We would like to keep that as cultivation. So we have a conversion policy in place where we can convert up to 2 quarters of grazing lease into cultivation lease. And we're looking to just update that policy, maybe increase the acres allowed under that current policy. Yeah, so thank you for sticking with me through this presentation. It's not entirely comfortable for me to be talking to a screen all to myself, but I appreciate it. If you have any questions or want to contact me, you can call the office at 403-854-5614 or shoot me an email at trent.caskey@specialareas.ab.ca. Thank you for taking the time, and looking forward to seeing you soon when we're able to get out to the public and meet all of you again. Thank you.